There's one final soccer match on the Division II calendar for 2021. Time to crown a champion for the men after a classic unfolded with the women just a little bit earlier today. Welcome back to Colorado Springs. Lincoln Rose along with Kit McConico. We do know this much. 2021 will end with the Golden Eagles lifting the trophy. But will it be Cal State LA or Charleston? It is a rematch of the last time we had a national championship 2 years ago in Pittsburgh.
Oh, what a matchup this is. This is the game everyone wanted to see. Cal State LA, Charleston, the top two teams in men's Division II soccer.
Cal State LA was able to edge Nova Southeastern after a scoreless draw, prevailing in a penalty shootout. Charleston surrendered a lead after the first half hour to UIndy, one of the three teams that made it back from Pittsburgh this year to Colorado Springs. But the Greyhounds would see that lead evaporate in the 84th minute. That's when Alejandro Leiros would find the equalizer, extend the match. It would go to a shootout as well, in which Charleston would prevail. Your hero, though, for Cal State LA in that first one was absolutely Alvaro Unanua, who came up with 3 stops in the shootout.
Oh, he was amazing. The final one, a kick save, body going away from the ball, still able to get his leg up to keep it out. And that's what you want your goalkeeper, just to stop one PK in a shootout. He stopped 3.
So Cal State LA in the white tops. Same look we saw back in the semifinals. As the Golden Eagles from the West Coast, now 17 wins, 2 losses and 3 draws. Charleston, 19 wins, 1 loss and 3 draws. But not all ties are the same.
No, they're certainly not. And that match for Cal State LA in their semifinal victory over Nova Southeastern, not a lot of offense. Both those teams, they were very tight. Neither wanted to make any mistake. Just didn't see a goal through 110 minutes and very few opportunities for either team.
Charleston looking for a chance here. They'll keep it low, skirting along that artificial surface here in Colorado Springs. Not going to be able to win a corner kick out of this. Still live play. Ball sent in and squeezed in by the aforementioned goalkeeper of the year in the CCAA, Unanua.
Alvaro Unanua, the 6-foot junior from Pamplona, Spain. What a performance he had in that semifinal, certainly brimming with confidence in today's championship. And he's going up against a side that he knows rather well.
Yeah, Alvaro started his career with Charleston. Now, he did not play in that championship 2 years ago in goal. But he will try to deny his former side a successful defense of its national championship. Charleston winning in 2017, 2019. So here we are back in an odd year, but this would officially be back-to-back, as we did not crown a champion last year in the NCAA Division II. First time we saw Cal State LA in a national final, 1981. They fell to Tampa in first overtime that year. That was hosted at Southern Connecticut State. We would not see Cal State LA again in the final game until 2 years ago when these two teams clashed in the final.
Great history there with Cal State LA. 15 trips to the NCAA tournament, 8-time conference champion, 5 times the conference tournament champion. This year, they've been on a great run. Just those 2 losses, 2 blemishes, and the last one, well, that was back on September the 25th when they fell against Cal Poly Pomona.
Free kick coming up for Charleston.
By Orellana, one of the Orellana twins, the seniors out of Bakersfield.
I think if one of them picks up a yellow, they switch uniforms.
Yeah, I have a feeling they've tried that a few times in their career.
See how dangerous Charleston can be from this distance on the free kick. As we're in the opening 4 minutes of the national championship here in Colorado Springs.
Plutarchos Alunefti, sophomore from Nicosia, Cyprus.
Cal State LA gets the first head on it. And there will not be a subsequent opportunity for Charleston. Charleston out of the Mountain East Conference, prevailing through the Atlantic region once again. Golden Eagles, of course, out of the West region, emerging from the California Collegiate Athletic Association. Cal State LA found its 12th shutout of the year in that scoreless draw, as Unanua more than capable of handling that one
And for Charleston, unbeaten in their last 19. The only blemish, the only loss, I should say, they have a pair of draws, but the only loss on their record, that was way back on September the 15th, a 1-0 loss against Davis and Elkins.
That would actually cost them the regular season championship. They would fall in their first meeting with DII, then they would play to a draw, but they got the better of the most recent two meetings. They beat Davis and Elkins in the conference tournament championship game, so that gave Charleston the automatic bid. And in the second round of the NCAA tournament, a scoreless draw, Charleston able to emerge on the shootout.
Interesting to see what we have in store with these two sides. They are evenly matched. They are both very impressive in all aspects of the game, not just attacking, but defense and midfield as well.
It's a day where we have a high of 43 degrees, and I'm pretty sure we've already reached that high, as it is all downhill with the Fahrenheit from here.
As soon as that sun gets behind the mountains, it will get chilly quick.
These men certainly experienced that back on Thursday. We're sitting right at that high of 43. Yesterday, the day off. An opportunity here again for Charleston. You look, playing into that setting sun. And it'll be a corner kick coming up. And actually, let's see if this ball, it was able to hang up for Cal State LA.
And ball was deflected off the captain, the central defender, Morten Bjorshul, the senior out of Oslo, Norway, but never found itself in touch. Bjorshul, an absolute tank. He's the quarterback of the defense for Cal State LA.
So Grand Valley State on the women's side. I know most of you at home say, well, sure, that was a given. But it was a golden goal 20 seconds into the second overtime. This is after the first overtime. They had a ball ready to sit right on the goal line, cleared off by a defender to extend that match into another overtime period. But when it's all said and done, the Lakers did claim an unprecedented 7th Division II women's soccer title.
Yeah, fantastic match between St. Rose. The foul there committed by Vargas, the freshman out of Switzerland.
Stroke from distance over the crossbar.
Yeah, what a match we had at the women's championship. And on paper, Grand Valley State, but it was back and forth. Twice St. Rose came from behind to draw even.
And ultimately no touch from Unanua, simply a goal kick. There were two close calls that our referee got absolutely correct through live course of play without even needing to consult the monitor. Our replays would then confirm the correct call in that women's match. Just reminds us we do have the best of the best who make it this far, just like the competing teams.
Yeah, privy with the best officials here. Top two teams in the country.
Scoreless thus far. And we'll get restarted from inside the center circle.
Look there, Bjorshul alongside Hernando, the junior from Spain. Big player in that semifinal victory for Cal State LA.
Cal State LA had a pretty uncomfortable start to their shootout rounds. They missed their first two. They would hit their final three. But again, it was the brilliance of their goalkeeper. If you get one stop in 5 rounds from your goalkeeper, they have done more than you could have hoped for. Instead, Unanua, 3 consecutive stops, including a brilliant kick save.
Now you think the Sharks of Nova Southeastern feel that they should be here in this championship, and they have good reason to, and they would be had it not been for that man right there, Alvaro Unanua. Just a blockbuster performance in the penalty kick shootout, blocking 3 in a row.
Again, 3 of our 4 teams in the semifinals this year were also in the semifinals last time we got together in Pittsburgh. The exception was Nova Southeastern. And easy way to remember that they weren't there is they've never been to the NCAA tournament until this year. It was an incredible run for the Sharks all the way in to the final weekend. Opportunity here for Cal State LA. Through traffic is Hernando. He'll lay it out. Cal State LA wants a handball on the slide. Not going to get the benefit of a call. It looked like it got him in the midsection. As I believe it was Rasmussen who came in for the stop in the box to deny a pass.
You see everyone in white, hands raised looking at the referee, but no handball there. You got to look at Mark Dorado. Dorado, the sophomore, also from Spain, out of Valencia.
Sporting the yellow kit the other night. Dons the neon green today. As you pointed out, a couple of Spaniards in goal.
Spain well represented. Madrid particularly, a lot coming from the Spanish capital on both of these sides.
So remember, Toronto played all 110 minutes in goal, only needed to come up with 3 saves, conceding just 1 goal in that semifinal, but he was not the man between the pipes in the shootout. That was Martins.
Yeah, interesting that Charleston thought they had a better goalkeeper when it came to the penalty kick shootout. They put the graduate student out of Sao Paulo, Brazil in, and he blocked the first, and really that's all he had to. His team perfect, 5 for 5 in their penalties, and that was enough.
The entire season, Martins had only been on the pitch briefly for a final moment to cap a match, but less than a minute recorded on the season.
Interesting to see the coaching move right there. It certainly paid off for Daniel Smee.
So, Kid, again, Grand Valley State brought in a new head coach this year, the 3rd different head coach to win a national championship during their run. Charleston's hoping for similar success with former assistant Daniel Smee at the helm, as Charleston continues to knock on the door, but no such luck. Chris Chamid is the head coach of Cal State, his 18th year. We mentioned already most successful men's and women's coach on that campus. These days, just one day job with the men. Whereas Charleston, Daniel Smee was part of those 2 national championships in his 3 years as an assistant. It's technically his 2nd year as a head coach, but his first year was an abbreviated season last year.
Yeah, last year, a difficult first year to be a head coach. Able to get through it and things back to normal, at least more or less this season, and Charleston back where you expect him to be, playing for a title.
Continuing the legacy of coaches Stratz and Grassi.
So far through the first 12 minutes, everything for Charleston.
Ball sent in and headed right back out by your prototypical center back.
We saw this a lot in the semifinal from Cal State LA. They're okay not possessing the ball. They're okay defending for long stretches of time, and many teams aren't.
Gonzalo Talavera on that back line, the first team all-region back from Madrid, Spain.
You just wonder if Cal State LA, they continue to play the style they did in the semifinal, how that is going to work against an offensively minded Charleston team, that they are going to take the opportunities. And Cal State LA, they were ultimately able to go through 110 minutes of scoreless soccer, winning that penalty kick shootout. I don't know that they're going to have a luxury of that tonight against Charleston.
The Colombian Conchila right now getting back to his feet. Made about half the starts this year.
Juan Conchila, the senior out of Bogota. Take a look there, an obvious foul coming from behind Hernando.
Division II National Championship here in 2021, Colorado Springs. The site will be in Seattle next year, part of the Division II Festival, where countless student athletes competing for a variety of different sports national championships will all get together for that fall festival.
It's just so great to be back after a year off because of the pandemic. No championship held last year, and wonderful to be here in Colorado Springs, and a huge thanks to our hosts.
As the ball goes all the way through the area, nobody for Charleston ever able to put one on frame.
Again, few opportunities in that final third for Cal State LA. Trying to press forward, but no one there in white. Hard to get anything going.
Of course, these are not the only championships going on in soccer today. MLS Cup New York City FC was seconds away from winning it when Portland found one 4 minutes in to stoppage time. Latest goal ever in MLS Cup, so they are level 1 apiece up in the Pacific Northwest. Another look, though, at this opportunity.
Yeah, over the top, looking for the captain, Gabriel Rodriguez, graduate student out of Cali, Colombia. Very dangerous, prototypical target forward, good size at 6'1". Didn't have many opportunities in that semifinal, and they'll be looking to get him more involved today.
No shortage of drama and just simply unbelievable moments in our women's game. We look forward to seeing what this men's match provides.
Oh, that match had it all, everything you could imagine and more.
St. Rose for a moment must have felt like they were the team of destiny, even clearing a ball that was tight-roping the goal line with the goalkeeper nowhere nearby. A young defender came up and cleared it off to extend the match. Charleston is going to settle for a corner kick here.
George will come in at the last moment to send that one out. Pressing, trying to find something. Alexis Ledoux from France, the sophomore. Trying to get by Bjorschel. That's always going to be a tall task.
Ball teed up, left boot delivery. As Mercado on the service, but Charleston still empty-handed.
Yeah, Felipe Mercado, the freshman from Medellin, Colombia. He got his first start of the season in the semifinal, rewarded with a start in today's championship final. Seen action in 8 matches previous to that, but interesting that he was put in the starting 11 for the first time.
If you were to keep track of the number of Americans on Charleston's roster, the average American would still have 10 fingers left.
It is an international side. That is definitely the case.
Another opportunity here. All laid off, 23 yards out. And they'll say a clean tackle to strip the ball away. And Johansson will send it into touch.
Yeah, similar to what we saw in the semifinal for Cal State LA. Back defending. Obviously one of the strengths of that side. But even so, it's not something you want to do for the entirety of a match. Starts to take its toll. Much more difficult to defend than attack.
Not sure what the over-under was going to be in this matchup on the references to Golden Eagles. But we have tried to keep it simple with just Charleston and Cal State LA, as we did 2 years ago. Elizaga will have it stripped away.
And nicely done, able to take it away from David Elizaga, senior from Madrid. Saw him pick up a bit of a knock in the semifinal. Wonder if he's 100%.
A 1v1 at the top of the box, trying to find daylight. But you run into that wall of Bjorschel, who now has help numerically. Defender of the year in the CCAA.
Yeah, Morten Bjorschel is indeed a wall. You look at him and he's just, think he should be playing American football with his size, but he moves so well. Great IQ, reason he has the captain's armband.
Look there at Alexis Ledoux, first team all-conference in the Mountain East. Sitting on 8 goals, 5 assists this year. Ledoux nailed the clincher in the shootout last night, or pardon me, back on Thursday.
Yeah, Ledoux, very good player, playing as the wing, cutting inside, running at defenders.
It was a freshman, Paulsen from Denmark for Cal State, who found the successful strike in the 5th round. To the top of the box. Shot will come, a low stroke that just goes wide. as Unanua never has to intervene. But Charleston's had the pitch tilted in their favor.
Yeah, beautiful ball. Eduardo Eranzo, the senior, another Valencia, Spain product. And you saw coming through, number 20, Adrian Camacho. Camacho is the one who ultimately lays it off to Camacho. For my money, the MVP of that semifinal, the junior from Bogota, a great box-to-box midfielder.
Think of all the teams that play soccer and call LA home, and it's the Golden Eagles of Cal State LA who are the last ones standing.
That's saying something. Bragging rights in the City of Angels for sure.
With apologies to Mr. Vela and Chicharito.
Well, that's on them.
Oh, a nifty spin. Opportunity here for Cal State LA. They've been weathering the attack. Now looking to go on the offensive. And the Golden Eagles from the West Coast able to strike first. The glory for Johansson.
What a job. You mentioned they'd been back defending the majority of the first 20 minutes. They turned defense to offense, and it's all by David Elizaga. Elizaga, the senior from Madrid, beautiful turn, finds space, lays it off perfectly right into the path of Soli. Unselfish across the face of goal, finds his target, and Simon Johansson, the sophomore from Norway, puts Cal State LA ahead.
Spain to Norway here in Colorado Springs. It's the first goal of the week for Cal State LA, a big one.
That is a team goal in every sense, just unselfish. Elizaga, Soli, Johansson, everybody playing to their role, making the perfect run, and a nice finish from number 3.
By the way, Johansson's job title, defender. And he'd been putting in work on that back end, but he made the run. Charleston back to knocking on the door. Alonefti among 4 defenders. Ledoux. This is Maestre. He and Ledoux, very similar games, partnered on that left side.
Again, full credit to David Elizaga. The senior midfielder had the turn, opened things up, got that going. I mentioned he came off in that semifinal in the 15th minute. He returned in the second half. Didn't see a full half of action. Wondered about his fitness level, but even if he's not 100%, you need number 10 in white on the pitch. He's a game changer.
It set up just the second goal this year for Johansson. Midway through the opening half of the national championship. It also gives Unanua his first lead to defend this week.
That's a good feeling if you're a goalkeeper. Particularly with as stout of defenses, sits in front of Alvaro Unanua.
Charleston had only conceded 6 first-half goals coming into Colorado Springs. They surrendered one around the half-hour mark to UND the other night, and one even sooner here.
Oh, scoring goals, that is not an issue for Charleston. They're outscoring their opponents coming into this weekend 74-13. They can put the ball in the back of the net. They're facing one of the top defenses anywhere.
Remember, Cal State LA in this rematch is actually your number 1 national seed as determined by the committee coming into this week. Charleston number 2. Cal State LA found themselves against the 4 seed in the semifinals, Nova Southeastern, out of the Sunshine State Conference. Charleston against UND out of the GLVC. As Maestre will send it in, Charleston looking for the equalizer before halftime.
You see Charleston really pressing, trying to find that equalizer. They've had more possession, better territory, more of it on the Cal State LA side of the pitch, but all that's for naught. Anyone who's watched soccer any extent knows that every stat can go against you, and all you need is that one swing of the boot or flick of the head. That was the case for Cal State LA.
Charleston still on the attack with Ledoux in the area. Around 2 defenders. And Ledoux still on the ball. Shot will come from 18 yards out, well off the mark before it's headed back out by Cal State LA.
Again, Ledoux trying to go at Morton Bjorschel. Bjorschel doing a very good job just standing his ground and not allowing Ledoux any space to get the shot off.
The difference so far, Simon Johansson capitalizing on the play of David Elizaga. And Bjorschel is not going to give you much of a dribble inside that box.
You're going to get very little space if number 22 in white is anywhere around. Rodriguez couldn't settle it the first touch, and he's not going to get a second.
30 yards out to the top of the box, a little dummy, but nobody making the run on the back post.
And that's exactly what Adrian Camacho thought was coming. The Colombian felt that he had a teammate making a run in, just allow that ball to go through.
Camacho never seemed fatigued. He single-handedly kept Charleston in that match late.
He did indeed, and he was going full speed, 90th minute, 100th minute, 110th minute. Obviously playing that long, and it takes its toll on just about everyone, and it did, except for number 20 for Charleston.
When it went to the shootout, all 5 Charleston men made their shots, including Camacho in the second round. It was a match where the ultimate super sub in Division II, Alejandro Lareos, the grad student from Spain, found his 12th goal to tie for the team lead with Gabriel Rodriguez.
You talk about a luxury, being able to have a player the caliber of Lareos, being able to bring him off the bench, the graduate student, the number 2 scorer on this side, and generally not a starter.
25 minutes in. Cal State LA was something they never had in the semifinals, a lead.
They will certainly be tested. It is going to be a Cal State LA defense against that Charleston offense, and we will see. But so far, Cal State LA, their defense, bowing their neck, showing up big.
It's going to be a match where if you simply look at possession, you're going to think it's a lopsided affair for the folks from West Virginia. As Unanua easily able to handle that one.
Unanua trading the Appalachian Mountains for the Pacific Ocean.
And this ball won by Cal State LA at midfield. Look there at Aiden Waite off the bench, the sophomore from Palos Verdes.
Saw him come on as a substitute in that semifinal as well.
Here's your goal scorer, Johansson. Plays that outside back roll. You see him up and down the touchline all day.
Yeah, you're not seeing a flat back 4 any longer. Your center backs, they will take care of that. Guys on the wing, they are pressing forward at any opportunity.
That's some nostalgia.
Back when they would put you as a defender, you know you didn't ever have to cross midfield, except for maybe a corner kick.
One of the twins, Jorge Oriana. Again from the foreign lands of Bakersfield, California.
His teammate, Lucas Rosales, a La Quinta, California product, transfer from Cal State Fullerton, comes on, does the junior wearing number 17.
Yeah, his third collegiate stop, also College of the Desert. Tack another S onto that school's name, and that's what I look like after a few holiday meals and press box meals here in the tournament.
We've been well taken care of.
And Bjorschel, no mistake. And now the effort, Aiden Waite trying to get to this one first. That frame was vulnerable briefly as Toronto had come off his line. Charleston able to buy him time.
Just too much on that cross-field pass. I like the ball to the touch line, trying to send Waite down the line, finding a bit of space. More of that from Cal State LA.
Mattia Vazzoni, the Italian. Actually spent some time in the second division of the professional ranks in Italy before coming over.
Young man from Lombardy in northern Italy.
Dorado.
Number 15, Jose Roda, and number 3, Simon Johansson for Cal.
These substitutions having an impact for Cal State LA. Rosales alongside Orellana starting to press forward. Cal State LA having more opportunities and a bit more time in that final third.
6th match on this pitch over the past 3 days in the artificial surface at this brand new venue, the home of the USL Championship side, 2nd division of U.S. Pro Men's Soccer, the Colorado Springs Switchbacks.
And what a field this is. Great facility, beautiful stadium, and befitting of the team that calls it home.
Most prolific scorer in the league. Colorado Springs home this year.
Haji Berry, the man from the Gambia. Quite frankly, pretty surprised he's still in USL Championship. But it was nice to have a huge mural of him greet us when we arrived in the airport here.
Charleston appears to be lacking that pipeline to the Gambia.
One of the only countries not represented on their roster.
Model UN. Charleston still looking for the equalizer. After conceding just their 2nd goal of the NCAA tournament, both have come here in Colorado Springs. And Bjorschel again makes no mistake back there on that final line of defense.
I don't know if going through the air is going to be the ticket for Charleston, particularly with...
Here's your chance, man up top, just could not link up. And the final stroke is one they wish to have again. A couple of opportunities there for Charleston, but empty-handed.
Poor final touch from Iranzo, the senior. That ball found him, and at the very least, you have to put it on goal. Just sends it sky high. Again, trying to go through the air. Looking inside for Rodriguez was the initial target. Out it came, but I don't know if going to the head with Morten Bjorschel manning the airspace, if that's ever going to come to any success.
Subbing for Cal, Daniel Yu, number 25.
They continue to rotate fresh bodies in. And among those coming off, our lone goal scorer, Simon Johansson.
Jorge Arellana, Hernando all coming off.
The mountains, the backdrop for this year's national championship. Soon enough, we'll be under the mercy of the lights here at Widener Field. Maestre. And just not on the same page. Ball goes in touch for a throw for Cal State LA.
Charleston just not finding any space to exploit. Well defended from Cal State LA.
We mentioned September 15th, the last time Charleston tasted defeat. They were able to survive in the 2nd round against that same team, Davis and Elkins, to keep their season going. But a 2nd loss on the year be a tough one to swallow as they would come here in the national championship. We had seen Charleston falter in championship matches, but that's before they had ever won one. We saw them fall in 2014 and 2016 in Louisville and Kansas City. They bounced back that 2nd year in Kansas City to win their first ever title. They're now looking for that 3rd championship. And a run that began back in 2017, back on top in 19. Of course, we did not crown a champion last year.
Cal State LA certainly knows to be the best, you have to beat the best, and off to a good start, 1-0 in their favor.
Again, this was the final pairing 2 years ago.
Look how deep everyone is back defending for Cal State LA. Most teams not comfortable to be in that situation. Cal State LA, I don't think it bothers them one bit. I wonder if Bit of frustration will start setting in on the part of Charleston, having these chances, just unable to make anything of it, finding no room in that Cal State LA defense.
Both these teams had only conceded 13 goals coming into this weekend. Charleston, though, had been winning matches this year by a larger margin. 75 goals now on the year, compared to 43 for Cal State LA.
There's your super sub, Alejandro Larayos. The Spaniard comes on and scores goals, and we'll see if he can do it today.
It'd be a big insurance goal that we never saw in the women's match. Twice St. Rose found the equalizer against Grand Valley State. St. Rose never given a chance in that second overtime to find the equalizer. As the golden goal went the way of the Lakers.
Charleston just swinging it around, going from one touchline to the other, trying to find any bit of space.
Trying to build some momentum here. Just can't maintain the tempo.
No, when you look at the defense, even from the men up top, Rosales all the way back. Everyone in white defending. No room for Camacho. And you see Charleston just trying to find any entry point to break that defense of Cal State LA. None to be had, and they simply just have to pull it back and recycle it, try again.
Final 10 minutes of the opening half of the national championship final. Ball chipped in. That one on frame, but Unanua there. Nothing he can't handle.
I think that was just out of ideas for Charleston. They'd swung it around the outside as long as they possibly could. They couldn't put it through on the ground, so why not go to the air?
Los Angeles, California, Charleston, West Virginia. Producing our final two teams. And Charleston will play on. Still looking to level this one at one apiece. And Unanua owes a thank you card to Talavera.
And give credit, though, to Alex Townley, the senior from Brighton England, who came off the bench, able to win this ball. Good tackle. He and Daniel Yu battling for it. Townley comes up the better.
Rosales on the wing. And no competition for Toronto.
That ball just much too deep inside the 6-yard box. No chance for anyone in white to get on the end of it.
And Cal State LA never found that goal in 110 minutes back in the semifinals. And yet here they are, national championship match. It's not about winning so you can play again. It's about winning so you can lift that trophy and bring it back home. It's the only time all year that the seniors know they are suiting up for the final time.
We mentioned on the stat sheet, they've had less possession. They've been pinned inside their own territory, but none of that matters. The only thing it does, that one on their side of the scoreboard.
It's all part of the plan, right?
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's exactly a rope-a-dope. They had been on their heels, and so it's appropriate a defender found the goal to break through.
Really one of less than a handful of opportunities that they've had. But in a championship final, it's what it's about. You're not going to have too many chances. It's going to be a tight, hotly contested match.
A ball taken away. Angle denied, though, by the big man. It'll be a goal kick. No deflection required. Again, Bjorschel shutting things down.
Larayos had it, some space, put it on his left. Couldn't put the shot on frame, and you see what Bjorschel, just the impact he has defensively.
Charleston winning more of these 50-50s. Will it lead to a result on the scoreboard? Mercado. And I think Rosales was able to redirect that ball, though back over to the Golden Eagles out of West Virginia.
Charleston, they've been pressing since conceding that opener 21 minutes in, trying to find the equalizer. And they find something in the remaining 6 minutes of this first half.
Looking to connect to the top of the 18. OU with a tough hump. Charleston with a chance from 25 yards out. And somehow each time Cal State LA recovers and regroups.
And you said it, they're just able to regroup so quickly defensively. They put themselves in a bad position, but they're able to remedy that. So far, they've been yet to pay.
It was a tough hop for Daniel Yu. But his teammates were there to help pick up the slack. From the wing, into the area. Around a pair of defenders, the third one is Bjorschel, and this is still a live ball, staying in play.
Yeah, Camacho trying to tightrope that in line and looks up, and there's big number 22 in his face.
Final 5 minutes before these two teams regroup in the locker room. Could there be fireworks? As that one parried wide. Corner kick coming up for Charleston, knocking on the door, a familiar source.
That's what they needed. Great ball in, finding Alejandro Larayos. Outstanding, put on the money, came from Maestre. Exactly what they needed. Larayos, his countryman, comes out big, able to deflect it for the corner.
Unanua has been brilliant this week. We've seen glove saves, kick saves, that time the chest. Sebastian Pavez. They'll go short, looking for that angle. Left-booted delivery. And Unanua will take some time by taking that one down to the pitch.
Larayos was the target. They were the one they were trying to pick out. Just couldn't get to him. Unanua saw it and able to intercept the pass.
Well, Charleston's national prominence has coincided with their joining the Mountain East and collecting the majority of the trophies in their time in the Mountain East. Their 7th straight NCAA tournament this year as an at-large. This year as a runner-up in the regular season, but claiming another AQ with the tournament title. Mentioned this year it's been all about the drama with Davis and Elkins. Team they lost to and played to a draw in the regular season, only to beat in the conference tournament and play to a draw in the NCAA tournament. 4 classic meetings this year.
That's been the matchup this season for Charleston, and for Cal State LA, it's been between them and Cal Poly Pomona.
Yeah, that was their final match of the regular season, final match of the conference tournament. And ultimately, Cal State LA proved to be the final match of Cal Poly Pomona's NCAA tournament run. So at the moment, the team that the committee picked as the top team among our last 4 has a goal advantage. It was a 1-0 affair in our women's final at half. We saw 3 more goals in that second half before overtime came around. and we would find yet one more.
3 goals in a span of just about 15 minutes. It was fireworks there at the end. Ultimately drawing 2-2 at the end of regulation, sent us to double overtime, and less than 60 seconds in, the Lakers of Grand Valley State found the winner.
But Charleston has Cal State LA right where they want them, don't they? They saw Indy take that lead in the first half. Charleston waited patiently till the 84th minute to find the equalizer, of course, prevailed in the shootout. That's how both these teams punched their tickets after 110 minutes.
Yeah, Charleston not making it easy for their fans. Hopefully they don't have high blood pressure or heart issues.
Of course, regardless of whom you're cheering for, you probably have breathing issues here. Air is a little thinner. We've seen some athletes affected.
St. Rose elected to use the oxygen canisters in their women's championship final. I don't know if that has any effect, if there's any aid to come with those.
Can you mix the sport drink powder into those for your favorite flavor? Charleston.
1 minute remaining in the first half.
Final 60 seconds here before the two teams retreat into the locker room. Our difference right now, the second goal of the year for Simon Johansson for Cal State LA. Looking for insurance, stepping through tackles, 2v1, and it's that lone one that slows down the attack for now.
Yeah, huge tackle. That time, Saeed Garcia, redshirt freshman out of Bogota, another Colombian, had to come up with it. Cal State LA may have been in for their second.
And Will Garcia will toss it in for one final attack here for Cal State LA. Looking for insurance before the end of the first half. As the countdown about to begin. Shot from 18 goes wide. Toronto will not need to intervene and probably will not need to put his boot into this one. Final match on the Division II calendar. A rematch of our last national championship 2 years ago. But perhaps a different outcome if the score holds. Cal State LA up a goal, courtesy of the stroke midway through the opening half from Simon Johansson. As it was Charleston who controlled the minutes, the possession, but ultimately the scoreboard. After the spin, the pass, the finish, Cal State LA in the driver's seat with at least 45 to play. One final time, both teams reemerge from their locker rooms here in Colorado Springs for at least 45 minutes here in the 2021 season in Division II men's soccer. And Kit, Cal State LA, after weathering an attack for the first 20-plus minutes, finally getting an attack going of their own.
David Elizaga, beautiful ball. Carlos Soli able to play it on to Simon Johansson. The only goal in the first half came for Cal State LA, even though they were the side defending the majority of the first half, able to weather that pressure from Charleston, able to break three that one time, and that's all they needed to take the lead into half number 2.
So if we were muted up until now because you're watching that other match up in Portland, get you caught up. These two teams met 2 years ago in the national championship, as the shot comes that time off the left boot of Manuel Garcia. That one went the way of the Charleston Golden Eagles at the expense of these Cal State LA Golden Eagles. This time around, Cal State LA is your #1 national seed, Charleston #2 in this rematch, both having to survive a shootout back in the semifinals on Thursday here at the brand new home of the Colorado Springs Switchbacks of the USL Championship. Lincoln Rose, Kit McConico with you.
Lincoln, Cal State LA looking to kind of take the path that Charleston had a few years ago. And now that they've made it here to the championship, they're looking to take the next step, become a champion, but it's a difficult task taking down this top side in Charleston.
Here's one of your heroes from the other night, linking up ahead. As they'll tap it back to Rizzoni.
I can guarantee you Charleston's going to come out in the second half, redoubling those offensive efforts. Very impressive defensive performance in the first half from Cal State LA, absorbing a lot of pressure, attack after attack, wave after wave. Charleston unable to break through, couldn't get anything past Alvaro Unanua.
Double assist on that goal in the 21st minute. Carl Soli as well as David Elizaga, each deserving of having their name in the box score, as Charleston outshot Cal State LA 7-2 in that first half. Corner kicks, both corners belong to Charleston. I'm laughing because for the first time I'm looking at the official box score. Everything is labeled as Golden Eagles. But common sense has to prevail when you decipher some of this.
Very tightly contested between the Golden Eagles. Even the mascot's the same. Not a lot between the two as Camacho tries to find a bit of space. You want to see him with more of the ball if you're Charleston. Find number 20.
Opportunity outside the box, just unable to bend it in, as this one will slip away. Third appearance in the national final for Cal State LA over the years. Meanwhile, Charleston is looking for its third national championship over the past 5 years.
Top two teams, this is the matchup everybody wanted to see. The rematch from 2 years ago. Obviously no championship held last year. Fans getting their wish. A pair of Golden Eagles vying for more hardware. That ultimate title of national champion.
Elizaga already an assist tonight. Unable to get it back to David.
Elizaga just so good, calm on the ball, reads the game well, knew what he wanted to do with it, wanted that return ball coming his way. They just couldn't find him.
Well, some of the early goings in this half, the sun right in the face of the attackers for Charleston. That sun no longer a concern for the rest of this championship Saturday. Behind the mountains. Got a handball at midfield.
Gabriel Rodriguez less than pleased. Thought that one may have come off the shoulder. Big number 11 raising the left arm. That's that one right off the captain's armband. I don't think anything
Textbook
Rodriguez could say about that.
Do they still have textbooks? Or is it all online? As they will regroup through Unanua, who has the only save for either goalkeeper today. Each team produced one shot on goal. That was enough to give Cal State LA the lead and Unanua a lead to defend.
A great ball out to Hernando in space.
Gerard Hernando, the junior from Spain, into the box, and it slowly makes its way to Toronto.
Yeah, you want to trouble these goalkeepers. You mentioned the Mark Dorado not having to make a save in the entire first half, and that is something that Cal State LA, they need to change. And for Charleston, even though they forced Unanua into a save, it's just a single save. They have to put more pressure on the Cal State LA goalkeeper.
To be fair, Mark Toronto would like to have one save at this point. The one mark on the scoreboard that separates the two teams, falling in favor of Cal State Los Angeles.
You get a look at the international flags on display. Chile, Colombia, get a bit of the international flavor represented here in our championship final.
Yeah, those are for pride. They are not for warmth. There's no practical use to those. Making a run and unable to feed Camacho. Again, he was making runs like that 109 minutes in. And he was finding teammates as well. They could not score. He himself finally tried to put some on frame late the other day. A familiar sight. Cheerleaders traveling from West Virginia. We saw a drum line travel for Grand Valley State. There's some of our international families.
Our Colombian friends there trying to stay warm. Saludos a nuestros amigos colombianos.
Yo también.
A brilliant touch, Alan Efti.
And he'll take a deflection and find its way harmlessly back to goal.
Someone else you'd like to see get more involved for Charleston, the sophomore midfielder from Cyprus, Mutarikos Alan Efti. Very dangerous with the ball at his boots, just hasn't had the chances. Soli. Oh, beautiful ball to Garcia.
And that one, again, just goes wide off the left boot of Manuel Garcia.
One of the local products, the junior from Bell Gardens there in greater Los Angeles. And this is a outstanding ball played his way. Came from Castellanos, sophomore from Murrieta.
Only goal so far, 6 seconds into the 21st minute. Cal State LA has held on to that advantage despite being under attack from Charleston almost non-stop in that first half. Only a handful of set pieces, most of them for Charleston. Set pieces were a big part of the comeback in the women's game for St. Rose to force overtime, only to come up short.
Came from behind twice to draw even, did the Golden Knights of the College of St. Rose. Used the set pieces brilliantly.
And this one a little heavy. Will go into touch across the wood. Jose Oriano, what a special experience this would be. He's the senior, his brother. Not often do you get to say this, the older brother, the 5th year, and Jorge get to share this moment together. Actually, both of them are twins, I think academically the same year. Maybe minutes separating the two.
I guarantee you, if he is, whoever's older, even if it's only by seconds, he's letting the other brother know that he is indeed the older brother. Two out of Independence High School in Bakersfield.
They've combined for 3 goals and 6 assists on the year.
The movement of the Cal State LA defense, just phenomenal. They do a great job moving as a unit, and that's what good teams do. It's not just one player. Everyone is putting themselves in good position. They're seeing what's coming 2 and 3 passes ahead.
If ever you didn't want to waste energy and to move efficiently, it would be at 6,300 feet. As left-booted strike squeezed in. Again, it'll deny Camacho. As the former Charleston Golden Eagle, Unanua. Well, our eyes will be focused on the pitch for a little over a half hour, and then we can one final time admire our settings, our surroundings here in Colorado Springs.
They couldn't ask for much more. That shot from Camacho, brilliant outside, and nothing happening. Why not? hit well, but Unanua well placed at the near post. No space for Camacho to slip it through.
Trying to avoid the offside. Boy, that is a tightrope. As you wanted to make that run if you're Elizaga, and now yellow comes out of the pocket of our referee, Chris Greer.
I believe that was directed at Emil Rasmussen, the senior defender from Denmark for Charleston. See if we get confirmation on that. Rasmussen tangled up. First card we've seen thus far this evening.
This will be Charleston's ball here after the offside flag.
Yellow card number 5, Gonzalez for wrong. On Charleston.
Another run here from Camacho. Adrian Camacho inside the area, but 3 defenders too much to overcome. They do avoid giving up the corner kick.
Big work coming in there, able to knock that one. It looked like it was going out for a sure corner, and just in the nick of time, able to send it out for the throw.
James Raptis, the senior from London. I mentioned Chris Greer, our referee, assisted by Ryan Jung, Raymond Thomas, our 4th official, Brandon Gardner, as a breather for Vizzoni. Just one souvenir handed out so far by Mr. Greer. Charleston looking for that equalizer.
Nefty trying to turn, and Manuel Garcia coming in. Didn't see Garcia there as the help defender.
Substitution Charleston. James Raptis, number 17 in. Mateo Vizzoni, number 23 out.
Pause for a quick substitution. Charleston doesn't want to wait for the final moments. Camacho to find that equalizer.
The good news is for Charleston, Camacho getting more involved offensively. Oh, what a move from Elizaga. He wins the foul to boot. David Elizaga down. Mentioned picked up a knock in that first match. See the physio tape on the right hamstring. And this time, foul by Conchila. Oh, excuse me, rather, it was Alonefti and then Conchila there at the end. So Conchila, the man who drew the whistles. There were 3 Charleston defenders.
If anything, it looks like his left foot was stepped on while he was trying to pull it out of the turf.
Those are kind of players, Elizaga, Cal State LA, Camacho for Charleston, the midfield maestros. And not a good sign. Elizaga thought he was pulling up, may have just realized that ball was well out of his reach and the flag was up. Something to keep an eye on. Elizaga so far not having any issues with that right hamstring.
He's made a couple of runs that have tested that back line. And so far, no insurance goal for Cal State LA. It would be a big 12th shutout of the season if the men from Los Angeles could lock down this attack from the defending champs. Ball sent in. Unanua, cat-like reflexes, swats it down. And a goal still to the advantage of Cal State Los Angeles.
Luis Maestre, junior from Elche, Spain that time, and his countryman Unanua up to it. A beautiful ball played right to Maestre, perfectly weighted, sent it. Unanua on the spot, scorched his palms, couldn't do anything with the rebound.
Go in touch off of Charleston, setting up that goal kick. So we're just about an hour into this one, and another card comes out for the holidays.
Yeah, Conchila, the foul on Soli, and he may have gotten away with it, but as soon as the referee blew his whistle, Conchila had a few words for him. Take another look. Soli crunched. It was a nice little flick from Soli trying to open himself up, and look there, Conchila he was going to get away unscathed without seeing a yellow. He quickly made sure that wasn't the case.
So they're trying to make that turn. Already an assist on the lone goal today by Johansson.
Yellow card number 16.
And a giveaway.
Poor turnover from Hernando.
The defending national champions trying to claim another title. This will take a deflection, should be a corner kick, as all the numbers will gather on this end of the field.
And those are mistakes you could not make in a national championship final. Hernando, not quite sure what he was thinking there, but turned it right over to Alexi Ledoux. Ledoux off of Talavera for the corner.
Alanefti to handle this one, the sophomore from Cyprus. Second team all conference, sends it in. Cal State LA gets the first header on it. Subsequent probe denied. And this might give Cal State LA a chance to make a couple of substitutions. Let's see if they have to hold off a little longer. There's your lone goal scorer. And Simon Johansson to his left, Mr. Paulson. Paulson the hero with that final PK made in the shootout on Thursday.
And the freshman midfielder from Denmark able to bury his penalty to book their spot in tonight's match.
Most of the men opting for the gloves as the temperature dips along with the sun. Charleston still looking for that equalizer. They've had moments. And almost a handball in the box there on the otherwise reliable Bjorschul. Has to be careful with those arms away from his son.
There's a wall of white jerseys. So difficult for Charleston to break through. They thought they had a chance. You see Camacho with it, just having to pull it back.
Raptis found some daylight. His problem is the man in purple, Unanua.
The problem for Charleston, the only shots they have are coming from well outside the box because of that Cal State LA defense. They're not able to find a way, so they're settling for these optimistic shots. You see Camacho looking for Alanefti, nicely taken off the chest. Bjorschul doing a good job, but as you said, arms raised, and in that situation needs to have them behind the back. Can ill afford to let a stray ball catch a hand and the referee point to the spot.
Yeah, that ball hit him in the ribs, never the arm, but he's fortunate it didn't climb higher. Yeah, I don't know why you think you're going to get a goal against Unanua from 20 yards out if the other night people couldn't do it from 12.
Well, and if it is going to be a long-range rocket, it is going to have to be something spectacular. Nothing normal, nothing average is going to beat Alvaro Unanua from distance.
Well, Eliazaga is going to get a well-deserved break on that bench, the first team all-region senior from Madrid.
No doubt he will return.
A foot race. Friendly tap back to Unanua.
Talavera down on the pitch. Gonzalo Talavera, another Madrileño, played it back to his goalkeeper and immediately went to ground, and hope that's just a cramp for the big center back.
Looked more like when he was just slamming on the brakes. And it appears the senior will be able to continue. 6 goals on the year. Again, first team all-region, Gonzalo Talavera.
Transfer from Georgia Southern, making his way across the country, seeing a good bit of the States in his collegiate career.
Over there in Sunbelt country, Division I. Now, Division I's finishing in Cary, North Carolina, and look, the former home of the Railhawks and now NCFC. Obviously, it's got some great memories, crowning champions for the men and women of Division I, but we've got it pretty good here in Colorado Springs.
Oh, we do indeed. This is an amazing facility. Widener Field at the Switchbacks FC Stadium, built right downtown, right in the heart of Colorado Springs. Putting a beautiful apartment complex, at some luxury apartments that we've seen next to it. And those are going to be the best views of this.
Did you buy all of those up?
Just the top floor.
Okay.
You're welcome to come over anytime.
Appreciate it. What does my credential need to say? This one barely gets me in for the buffet upstairs. Charleston still looking for that equalizer, 30 yards out. They've trailed since the 21st minute. Cal State LA found its first goal of the week, but a timely one. Will it be enough to hang on for the national championship for the first time in school history? Or will it be those men, those Golden Eagles, capturing a third in 5 years?
Oh, and FD having more opportunities on the ball. The Cypriot here in the second half, something that you want to see if you're Charleston. But again, trying to break through, trying to find a way through that rock-solid Cal State LA defense. It has proved, well, thus far, impossible.
We saw Charleston finally get over the hump, claim that first ever national title in Kansas City on the same pitch where they had lost the year before. That was in a shootout. Past Lynn. Recently in Pittsburgh, able to get the job done through the run of play.
Dorado almost caught out there.
A little Festivus gift.
They need to be more careful. Cannot make just mental mistakes like that in this match.
In that pitch over in Cary, North Carolina, home of NCFC. They play at the same level as the tenants here in this less than a year-old stadium. Colorado Switchbacks in the USL Championship. You see, starting to unpack some trophies. Not sure if that ceremony will be in 27 minutes or perhaps closer to 50.
Hardware's on site. That much we know for sure. The only question is who will be coming away with it.
As for Charleston, that is Iranzo from Valencia. A couple of goals and 6 assists this year. Another look. Every 50-50 matters that much more in this final game. Nobody's going to be willing to blink.
They can't let any stray ball, nothing in the vicinity, going untested. Charleston still plenty of time remaining, but I wonder if there's a bit of frustration, just have not been able to crack the code that is the Cal State LA defense.
Camacho can't get that one to bend in.
And I think that shows the frustration perfectly. Camacho outside, he has 2 defenders on him. Really nothing he can do in that situation. Again, tries to take an optimistic shot from well outside. It just bends off course, never on target. But when you can't get inside the box, when you can't get better shots from inside the 18, you're gonna have to settle for those.
Wrapping up with the 65th minute here in the national championship. Did not have the chance to crown a champion last year. Programs like Cal State LA simply never suited up last season, whether it be in the fall or the spring. Charleston got an abbreviated season in. Cal State LA trying to find some insurance. A corner kick will have to do.
Settling for the set pieces, but making something out of that situation. The way things are going, chances not through the run of play. See if set pieces can provide goals.
A right-footed outswinger, the offering here. They'll still keep it tight. Doesn't take a deflection, it's a goal kick.
Solely saying he played that off one of the Charleston defenders. It's a good look inside of the junior from Norway. Carlos Soley had the final assist on that lone goal for Cal State LA. Came 25 minutes in from Simon Johansson.
Sixth and final match of the week here in Colorado Springs. The women's bracket has already been completed. This is the final half of soccer on the men's side. Every men's professional league has concluded now. Division III wrapped up earlier this month over in Greensboro. Division I has one more match for the men to be played.
Then that period where, well, we have to wait a bit for domestic soccer, period that no one likes. Camacho pulling out of traffic, looking for the return pass. Nefty unable to find a teammate. Defensive line, Cal State LA. Just like a broken record, but they are incredible.
Charleston, again, found that equalizer late on Thursday against UIndy.
Came off the head of Bjorschel, excuse me, Morten Bjorschel, giving up the corner. Nefty will head over to take it.
Charleston does not want to wait until the 84th minute again. Nefty, in 8 assists coming into this week. His right boot. Send one to the near post, create some chaos. Looked to be cleared off the line with a team save there for Cal State LA.
It was, and I think that was Paulson, the substitute, who was on the mark.
And there will be no need for any intervention the next time down.
Paulson at the far post, a great, dangerous ball. And you see Paulson, number 8, right there, flicked on. It was Nefty, Larrayos, the man who got the touch. But either way, Paulson on the spot to clear it away. Whew.
You clear that one. You hit a teammate, you worry about an own goal, you worry about a handball, and you get to breathe a sigh of relief as Castellanos comes off.
Just a 1-goal advantage. I'd say things far from confident on the Cal State LA side. You mentioned anything can happen. That one ricochets off a teammate, ricochets off an opponent into the back of the net, and we're all square.
21 minutes remaining in regulation. We're not foolish enough to say in the match.
No, we've seen better this week.
Including earlier today. The Women's National Championship. 3 goals in a span of 15 minutes. A pair of equalizers for St. Rose. A golden goal that, well, was ultimately an inch shy of being a golden goal in the first overtime for Grand Valley State, cleared defensively just in the nick of time to save the season, only to see the Lakers of Grand Valley State score 20 seconds into overtime 2. Both these teams, no interest in overtime. Already 110 minutes on their legs coming into tonight. A free kick coming up here. Is this the moment Camacho and Charleston have been waiting for?
And Hernando committing the foul. The opportunity coming. Raptis, the substitute, senior out of London, wins a dangerous free kick. Camacho standing over it.
We joined by Nefty. Now all Camacho. Everybody gathered top of the 18. Camacho lobs it inside the penalty area, and in the end, Unanua realizes he does not need to extend that wingspan. It'll be a goal kick.
Rayos, the one who had the last touch to it for Charleston, and if you're Charleston, you can't ask for a whole lot more from Adrian Camacho. The service was perfect. He found his teammate. The header just didn't have the power and just off the mark. Opportunities that you're not going to get a lot of.
Alvaro Unanua, perhaps more so than anybody else, the reason why they are still playing soccer.
This side down 2-1 in penalty kicks, and somehow able to block 3. Outstanding performance in the semifinal.
What is it? 2 if by hand, 1 if by boot.
And a kick save on the final one.
This is what we've seen throughout the night. Charleston hovering around the area. They'll send this one in and quickly return back out.
That's what we've seen the almost entirety of this match. Cal State LA back defending. One of the few times they're able to get forward, they came away with the goal from Simon Johansson.
It may work tonight as opposed to when they were up against Nova Southeastern, who had a similar game plan back in the semifinal. It was just pure gridlock.
Still a lot of time left in this one. Charleston have yet to crack this code.
Just takes one. Mercado. I have to buy a ticket to get to that one.
And not the shot they wanted. Robinson did a good job, able to find the freshman from Columbia. Mercado just well off target.
Reinforcements for the men who are up a goal, including Mr. Esteva, the junior who started his career at Cal State Dominguez Hills, a Palos Verdes native who was the conference's Elite 13 Academic Award. That's among your Final Four teams who make the conference tournament. Top GPA.
Braden Tucker, sophomore from Spokane, also coming on.
Esteva, and just not on the same page. An all Golden Eagle final for the second straight championship here for the men in Division II. Corner kick coming up for Cal State LA.
Nicely done from the Evergreen State native. Tucker able to win that coming on just moments ago and immediately making an impact.
Jorge Oriano is going to sub back on before this corner. Make his way to the back post. Ball kept tight. Charleston with the first touch. Cal State LA not going away. Back post just won't bend in time.
Knew what he wanted to do with it, did Diego Vargas, freshman from Switzerland. Unable to complete the execution of it.
Charleston, number 10, Edu Alonso. Number 7,
He's from Winter, Switzerland. Which I assume is what our season is named after.
The only question is that a French, Italian, or German speaking part of Switzerland?
Charleston looking to take the 0 off the board. Another opportunity here. Just can't complete the final pass.
Carl Olsen there, the freshman defender from Sweden.
And again, some rare moments for Esteva. Trying to make the most of it. Just his 6th appearance on the season, but fresh legs out there.
Yeah, the youngster from just south of LA and Palos Verdes trying to make something happen.
Unanua back in goal, facing his former side. Has held them quiet for now. As Charleston's going to linger a little longer here in the offensive third. Extra touch, and he'll steer wide. Oh, that header at the last second made you wonder, would perhaps that be the one that finds its way home?
Well, Ios able to get on the end of that, tried to flick the header on. It came from Robinson, the senior from Manchester. A beautiful ball in from number 3, Adam Robinson, right on the money. Ios trying to find Rodriguez, Gabriel Rodriguez, unable to put a toe to it.
How many matches have we seen where that center back coming back to shield people off actually winds up having the ball hit him and go home? No own goal to level this one. Slip through, flag is up, offside.
Tucker, the man, just on the wrong side as that ball played his way.
Sophomore out of Spokane. And looks like something was not left unspoken. And a foul on Tucker a moment later for grabbing his opponent.
Tucker instigating things. It's what you want to see from a substitute, really trying to put his stamp on this. Whistle's gone against him, but even so, trying to make something happen. You can't fault him for that.
Defending national champions, looking for their third title. That second title came at the expense of Cal State LA, who's looking to return the favor here. Matchup similarly was a rematch, but a little bit longer ago. Not a lot of players remaining from that 2011 title clash between St. Rose and the Lakers. Raptors. Camacho. Big collision in the air inside the area. Charleston still on it. Ball slips through, and enough resistance from that back line to buy the man in purple a chance to smother the ball.
Well won by Robinson again, and looking for Alejandro Larayos. He was the target man there. See Robinson able to get around the initial tackle, perfectly slotted through, and then coming in at the last moment, Jorge Orellana. He was the man there in the nick of time, allowing Unanua to come off his line to claim it.
11 and a half minutes, an eternity for Cal State LA. As that is what separates them from their first Division II men's soccer national championship.
As you correctly said, that is an eternity, a ton of time remaining in this one.
Especially when you're defending so much on your heels.
They come away with the victory via just that lone goal in the 25th from Johansson.
Camacho trying to find space. Unsuccessful.
Again, the defense for Cal State LA. Certainly wouldn't bet against them.
It was a 2-0 blanking in favor of Charleston over Cal State LA at Highmark Stadium 2 years ago in Pittsburgh. And there is a free kick awarded straight away.
Opportunity coming for Charleston. Free kick just above the half moon, won by the freshman Felipe Mercado. His countryman Camacho plays it in, and Vargas rather, the man who commits the foul.
So Unanua on his line, directing the troops. Get everything right, where he takes his own position on that back goal line. Camacho hovering over this one.
The man you want, the situation you want.
4 goals, 7 assists.
Just off the mark from Adrian Camacho. He knew it was there. He had it measured, looking for that far post. And just inches wide.
NCAA, number 18, cross-holding. Number 20 goes out. Arvin Espa.
And all this not just trying to manage a national championship, manage the temperatures, manage the thin air, rotating bodies in and out for these final 9 minutes of regulation.
What an opportunity that was. Great free kick from Camacho.
You get the feeling we'll say his name again in the next 8.5 minutes.
I think you're right.
Two teams that went the full 110 and a shootout did just enough to get here, as opposed to the Sharks and the Greyhounds. And a counter effort with Vargas. It's short-lived, back over to Charleston. We don't keep reminding you that temperatures have dropped since the sun's gone down, but there's a few visuals. And those who are asked to sit still.
If you're out on the pitch, you may not feel it, the adrenaline and the pace of play, but the moment you come off for substitution, it's bitingly cold.
All right, Cal State LA possess this ball to take a little pressure off of themselves. With 7.5 minutes to go here in the second half. 21st minute is when they found their goal. Simon Johansson. Some great passing led to a memorable finish.
We wondered if they could defend as much as they have for this match and not be made to pay. So far, they've been able to do so.
Flag will stay down. And two Cal State LA men slamming on their brakes. That allowed a Charleston opportunist to land on it.
Fernando getting Robinson to fly by. Cal State LA is so good in tight spaces. You see them working out through the pressure.
And Cal State LA is going to happily take a few moments, catch their breath, allow some time to melt off the clock. There's Johansson, your lone goal scorer. The sophomore from Norway found his second goal of the season, and might be the biggest of his career. But quickly back over to Charleston.
Time now certainly a factor for Charleston.
They found their lone goal, the equalizer in the semifinal, in the 84th minute. We are nearing that mark. Camacho. Another one goes skyward, punched away as the 6-foot keeper, Unanua, just enough. Able to elevate it and send it away.
Unanua knows the next 5 minutes and change, they're going to be difficult for he and his defense. They've been tested, but they will be more so.
Charleston's wondering when Cal State LA will make that misstep on defense. And you gotta be smart.
Yeah, Robinson needs to back up solely. He wasn't trying to commit a foul there at all. And the man from Manchester taking offense, solely simply saying, I was trying to make a play on the ball, and indeed the case. He's gonna see yellow for that.
That's more to set the tone of anything for these final 5 minutes.
And you see Robinson, solely, he certainly got a piece of Robinson.
Here, Robinson, you've won the foul. Put your team in a tough spot.
You certainly do not want to end up in the book as well.
Manchester, England. Goes up with the block. And the complaint is that it wasn't 10 yards. That's why the palms are to the sky.
Alan Efty's saying that Hernando not 10 yards away when that ball was played, and Hernando's going to see yellow now, and we will have another free kick coming for Charleston.
So the man took a line drive on the back of the head and gets a yellow.
And the referee had his back turned, and
yeah.
Hernando took full advantage. Referee not looking at him. He says, oh, see if I can get within about 6 or 7, and able to do so, did the Spaniard.
That's when you look to your ARs for help. And Hernando from Spain. Presumably, they were on the same page in that communication. And we'll concede this is 10 yards, 10 meters, whatever you want. Ball sent in, looking for that elusive answer to the lone goal back in the first half for Cal State LA. Every time that this ball rolls away from the goal of Unanua, just more time off the clock, a narrower window for a comeback.
A big deflection on the spot. Ryan Candelario, the freshman from La Mirada, has come on as a substitute. Raptors just unable to find Alonefti here on the near touchline. Referee allowing time for the substitution as Manuel Garcia comes back on for Cal State LA, taking the place of Anton Olofsson.
35 degrees out.
For Olofsson out of Sweden, this is a fantastic weather. He's happy to have this.
Camacho eyes up the pitch, looking for that final link up. And again, just enough interference to buy time for Unanua to corral it. He's going to boot this one away to take more time off that clock.
Yeah, smart move there from Alvaro Unanua.
It's as if Charleston's been playing up a man for most of the second half.
Well, you're right, just continuing to pressure.
Cal State LA endured this even before they found that first goal. But they made that one run at the moment that stands the difference here in 2021.
Johansson able to send that one out. Camacho tried to serve it in. Again, the pressure this Cal State LA defense, and not just defense, their entire team. You're seeing all 10 players back defending, able to absorb, is extraordinary.
3 minutes remaining in regulation.
This has been the case for much of this game. Charleston just having to settle for shots from outside. That time Raptis took a deflection, no trouble. Unanua up to claim it.
Every time he gets the ball, that means more time melting off the clock. And this will help. Hernando. Throw coming up for Cal State LA. Charleston will finally win it back, but Cal State LA at the moment 2 minutes removed from its first national championship. Can they continue to defend as they have for the bulk of this match?
The trips forward for Cal State LA have been few and far between, but all they needed was the one from Johansson.
Cleared off the 18. 90 seconds remaining in the 90 minutes here. Camacho unable to land on that one, and more open green space. Ledoux. Charleston has plenty of candidates to find that equalizer. But that time is melting quicker and quicker, it seems.
Another good ball in. Alejandro Larayos again at the target.
1 minute left in
able to get ahead to it,
regulation.
but nothing more.
Charleston denied Cal State LA 2 years ago, the program's first title. 2 years later, even a pandemic, it appears, cannot deny the men from the West Coast from bringing the trophy back to Los Angeles. 40 seconds remaining for a comeback to force overtime in this final match on the Division II calendar. State fans know better than to celebrate until they are told that that clock has struck triple zeros and they hear the whistle. And Charleston find one at the death. Camacho sends one skyward.
9,
This one
8,
lingers.
7,
18 out.
6, 5,
Cal
4,
State LA,
3,
one final stop.
2, 1.
Unanua on his line will celebrate a national championship with his new Golden Eagles of Cal State LA, who claimed their first national championship in program history.
What a performance. The lone goal coming in the first half and absorbing pressure the entire match. Their defense standing strong. Unanua, that line in front of him. Extraordinary performance defensively for Cal State LA to come away with their first national championship.
Simon Johansson's second goal of the year, the sophomore, with the game winner. And although technically not a golden goal, it was. As assisted by Soli and Elizaga back in that 21st minute, Cal State LA continued to weather the storm. But when it comes to Golden Eagles, the men from Los Angeles will be the ones to lift the gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, stick around for the awards coming in just a minute.
Goal scorer Simon Johansson, that rare trip forward, enough for his side, well deserved. Everyone back defending. They all knew what they had to do. Everyone bought in. The forwards, the substitutes, it didn't matter. All back behind the ball, all doing their job to a T. And they are rewarded with their first national championship.
It was their third appearance in the national final, their second in as many championship tournaments. Of course, their first back in 1981 they've just read about. But Cal State LA writing their own chapter in the record books for their program, and for a Charleston team that has tasted success winning on the last day, that doesn't make it any easier to come up short this time around.
No, it certainly doesn't. They've been in this situation before. They will be back again, but this year, not to be for the men from West Virginia.
Christian Medias, again, 18th year at the helm of Cal State LA, when we see so many programs passing the baton from one coach to the other, but maintaining success. He's been there the entire way, coached the women, coached the men, still at the helm of this program on the men's side, and all that time, almost 2 decades, paying off with the first trophy as the top team in the nation in Division II.
I can't imagine how sweet it is for Coach, what he's done his entire career there with the men's side, the women's side. You mentioned record-setting coach. Finally comes away with this national championship, 18 years in the making.
Stay tuned for a well-deserved award ceremony. 2 fantastic teams see their season end. One of them, Cal State LA, ultimately attains that final goal of the year. For Kip McConico and our NCAA.com crew, we'll officially say farewell to 2021 when it comes to D2 men's soccer. But stick around here on NCAA.com. The award
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the NCAA is pleased to announce the 11 members of the 2021 Soccer All-Tournament team. Number 1, at midfield, from Nova Southern, Southeastern, a junior, Tobias Vallejo. Number 2, at defense, University of Indianapolis, a junior, Makiel Rashid. Number 3, at defense, from Charleston, a senior, Emil Ramasan. Number 4, mid from Charleston, a senior, Eduardo Ronzo. Number 6, mid, Charleston, freshman, Adrian Camacho. Number 7, mid from Charleston, freshman, Alexis Ledoux. Goalkeeper, Cal State LA, junior, Olivaro Anuela. Defense from Cal State LA, sophomore, Simon Johansson. Defense from Cal State LA, senior, Gonzalo Talavaro. All from Cal State LA, mid-junior, Carl Slowy. Forward, number 11, number forward, a junior, Gerardo Hernando. At defense, sophomore, Simon Johansson. At defender, senior, Gonzalo Talavaro. He is the offensive MOP. And making the presentation of the awards are members of the NCAA Division II Soccer Committee, and presenting the awards is Terry Beatty. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us as we congratulate the 2021 NCAA Division II Men's Soccer Run-Ups, finishing with a record of 19-1-3, the University of Charleston Golden Eagles. And now, please join us as we congratulate the 2021 NCAA Division II Men's Soccer National Champions, finishing with a record of 18-2-3. Okay, we're going to take care of the individuals from Charleston because they deserve that first, so let's do that. And for Charleston, we'll start with number 1, Mark Tirado. Number 2, Joaquin Ostabat. Number 3, Adam Robinson. 4, Felipe Ricardo. 5, Emil Ronson. 6, Louis Mestray. 7, Utrakaris Alatfin. Number 9, Alex Townley. 10, Adu Aranzo. 11, Gabriel Rodriguez. 12, Juan Hermoso. 14, Lucas Christensen. 15, Said Garcia. 16, Devon Conchela. 17, James Raptis. 19, Alejandro Reyes. 20, Adrian Camacho. 23, Mattia Gazzani. 24, Sebastian Pavez. 25, Louis Redding. 38, Alexis Ledoux. 59, Nikolai Gunderson. And 92, Ian Martins de Oliveira. Head coach Daniel Smee, assistant coach Travis Brent, on staff Gary Ogilvie, Pablo Ortiz Munez, and Kija Ude. And now the individuals for Cal State. Number 1, Olivaro Unana. Number 3, Simon Johansson. 4, Manuel Garcia. 5, Gonzalo Talavera. 6, Diego Vargas. 8, Yebby Paulson. 9, Manuel Vilena. 10, David Elgazat. 11, Eddie Leon. 12, Ray Tucker. 14, Eduardo Calistanos. 15, Jose Orellana. 17, Lucas Rosales. 18, Carl Soler. 19, Anton Olafson. 20, Arvine Esteban. 21, Carl Olsen. 22, Morton Bujon. 23, Ryan Candelaro. 24, Gerard Hernando. 25, Daniel Yu. 27, Jorge Orlando. 30, Julian Aldozaki. And 34, Aiden Wage. Assistant coaches, Michael Urish, Dallas Wasi, Michael Haswell, Omar Zini, and head coach, Chris Chamaze. At this time, we'll now present the actual national championship trophy. To our friends, Cal State Golden Eagles.